Welcome to Intuitive Wisdom Tarot. My name is Jennifer. I'm going to pull some cards for Earth signs for this upcoming week, January 19th through the 25th. If this reading resonates, hit like, subscribe, and drop your element or sign in the comments. It helps the channel, which I so appreciate, and it helps me know whose energy I'm reading with. We're going to start with an oracle message from Wisdom of the Oracle. Let's see what we're getting. And then we'll be jumping into tarot after. All right. We have yin. Some yin energy. We have a beautiful card here. The number 2. This is all about soft, very feminine energy. Lots of slowing down. As we see on this card, it's a very spa-like. Maybe some of you earth signs really need to do some self-care this weekend or this next week, even into this weekend. Again, maybe schedule that spa date. Maybe find a friend. Maybe on your own. Maybe you're an introvert like me and you love to just spend time on your own. But there's a big message coming through. Spirit is saying it's time. A little bit of self-care. Our essential meanings for the yin card. The feminine principle of receptivity, letting someone else make the first move, gathering information and taking in cues, the art of conscious allowing. The oracle message is, this is a time of calculated receptivity as you gracefully await what is coming to you, ready to accept it when it appears. Yin does not involve frozen dreams or even resting, but rather consciously allowing things to flow to you, poised to receive the bounty of that will be made available to you. It implies sensitivity as you alertly study the actions of others and contemplate how they will affect you and yours. Remember, you must make space for miracles to appear. Be the shaped, not the shaper, and you'll see how quickly your dreams manifest. So, a lot of not action, but you are still taking action. So just know, like, send your energy out there. So when we think about manifestation, again, there's a big level of sending your vibe to the universe. The universe is going to pick that up. And so this yin energy is really asking you this next week, send out your vibe, get your vision, vibrate high, give yourself some self-love, some self-care so that you can continue doing that. Now, our protection message for next week is, do you have trouble receiving? You stop the flow of abundance when you continually insist upon being the giver. You can't always lead, always give, always teach. You must be the student, the open vessel, and the one who receives the gift, gesture, or offer in equal measure. Open up and let love, life, abundance, and spirit fill you without demand or expectation. Just receive the bounty that is yours. And for a lot of you, especially you earth signs, you are the most nurturing of the zodiac. It's time for you to receive, and there are some of you out there that that can be very difficult. I can tell you on my own, it can be hard to receive, not because I don't know how to receive, but sometimes we might feel it is a failure when it's not. Plus, we're nurturers, and a big message is, receive, send out that vibe for this next week. Beautiful. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with tarot. Let's see what messages we have for January 19th through the 25th. All right. Let's see. All right. We're starting with the King of Swords. This is your general energy walking into our week. This is what we are manifesting, what we're calling in the Lovers. This is going to help us get there. We have the Empress and advice from Spirit. So, again, along with the line of just the yin energy coming through, a lot of, again, slower energy, tapping into your resources, your internal resources, your external clarity. But there are some things you're just aligning because there is a big opportunity. There's a brand new thing that you are nurturing. Bottom of our deck, we have the Ace of Wands. So this is underneath it all. There is something that you are nurturing, something that has been sparked. So Spirit has come in and has said, hey, I'm going to hand you this wand. Do your magic. And you have taken that. Several of you have. And if you haven't yet, Spirit is really saying, take this opportunity, take this wand. This is a wand of creativity, of passion, of action and purpose. There's something that you are working on. I'm getting a very big vibe of passion projects. Some of you are really, it's that next step in your career. Maybe you're taking that opportunity. You're saying, okay, I'm going back to school so I can advance, or I have done all of that and I'm going to take this big opportunity to try something new in my career. But there's the energy is just a very strong, like, and that's exactly what you wanted to do. And that's what Spirit's saying. Go for it. You have this opportunity. This is what's underneath it all as you go through this next week. So we are starting with the King of Swords. This is you. This is your energy. It could also be somebody who is coming in to help you along the way, but there's more of a message of clarity, discernment, understanding what you need to do. Our yin energy is about, again, receiving. And so Spirit is really saying this next week, you're going to come in to it with, again, an open mind. Your mind is going to be clicking. There's going to be information. There's going to be logic. There's going to be drive and determination in your mental space. And so although yin it's not an active card, and kings are very active, what it's saying is that this is going to be active of the mind. It's not necessarily taking that step, but you're going to have a mind that is just really exploding with ideas and plans and what's the next step. What is it that I want to do? It's not what is it I want to do. You know what you want to do. It is that plan. So you are getting out your calendar and you are scheduling in those dates. You are getting out your calendar and making those appointments that you need to make so you can move forward. You are enrolling in that, not enrolling, you have enrolled and you are now making that plan. So this is not, it's a slower energy, but it's more of an energy of, like, again, your mind is moving, not necessarily your body. There's clarity, determination, and drive coming in because you know exactly what you want and you're going to get that started. There's a big visionary. Again, with that yin, I was getting, send that vibe out. Send that vibe to the universe. So Get clear, meditate, get into a quiet space. Start designing those mental pictures. What does that future look like? What does it look like when you are embodied in that energy of what you want to be? And that is what you're entering this weekend. So a very active mind, very logical and analytical, saying, hey, I know what I want to do. I have the opportunity. I've taken it. Now let's plan it. And as earth signs, you are planners, okay? You're rooted and you're grounded. You're hardworking. You are one that's like, I know the amount of work that needs to be put into it, and you're willing to do that. However, you are so grounded and rooted that a plan with plan A, B, and C on it is something that's really going to help you out. And so that's what Spirit is really saying. You are moving into this week with like, yep, I am devoted to planning this out. I'm using my mind. I'm being intellectual. And what you are pulling in is opportunities, choices, a brand new path where you are able to one, maybe be aligned, maybe along with a love, right? The lovers it can be very love. Maybe you're pulling in a brand new relationship. If so, it could very well be a King of Swords that's coming towards you. It could very well be a opportunity where you're aligning again with a career choice or something you have chosen, where you are able to align with your values, your morals. There's this alignment that you're calling in to a person, to a opportunity, to a job, a career, an educational path, but it's going to be aligned with your truth and again your values. So if you value spirituality, this is going to be an alignment to that. Some of you could very well be intuitives yourself, and calling in that. Maybe you are reading tarot. Maybe you are doing some of those esoteric arts. Maybe you are a religious or spiritual advisor. So you're calling in this thing, whether it's a person or an opportunity, like a business, but it is truly aligned. You're calling in alignment to it. So what I'm getting in my head is this person, and they're pulling this string, and this string is coming from this vast, open environment, and there's these things that they have to avoid as they're going through because it's aligning them to what needs to come through. So again, that's what you're doing. You are not actively in body taking that, but you're making decisions. You're choosing, and you're choosing to align with you, align with what your purpose is, and you being able to live your purpose. There's some risk involved in this. I really think that one, this is something that you've never done before, and it scares you, but there is a very beautiful authenticity in that, where you keep telling yourself, yes, it is scary because it's not something that I typically do, but it's so energetic. There's this just a vibe that I'm so vibing with, and I cannot wait to have this opportunity come in. And so I am dedicated to pulling on that rope, dedicated to pulling on and going through whatever obstacle I need to, because this is truly my purpose. I'm here. You are aligning with a purpose that you were sent down here. There's a lot of spirituality that comes through this. Right on. All right, what's really going to help you is one, being your most authentic self. Really tapping into the love and beauty that you are. The skills, your nurturing side. Maybe some of you are going back to school to become counselors, therapists, teachers, caregivers. Again, we are a very caring bunch as earth signs. And there's a lot of yin energy that comes with the Empress. In fact, she is an energy that she does not go after. In fact, she calls it in. She has faith and love and nurturing and understanding that if I continue to have that faith and that love and nurture and understanding, these things are going to come to me. She does not want for anything. And that is really what Spirit is saying right now. Your best chances of being able to do this is, again, align with that abundant energy. Align. So I'm getting back that vision. Envision yourself in the shoes of you as the person that you are wanting to become, wanting to be. So if you are going back to school as a counselor, start thinking and acting and doing and feeling like a counselor. Start becoming aware of those opportunities. If you are one that is calling in a business, maybe you're designing your own business, you're birthing something here. The Empress is all about, again, the birthing. They always say the birthing of empires and worlds. Envision yourself in that energy and then go do that. Talk like how your future self aligned with this opportunity talks. Envision, like, how would you be reciprocating in a relationship that you're calling in. So this is really where you're utilizing that yin energy. And it's all really aligned to you. You're incubating right now. There's something that you're incubating. Not something. That's what Spirit is saying. It is, you need to incubate. You need to nurture. You need to make sure that you're really taking care, not only of yourself, but your environment. Go out and exercise. If you've started an exercise plan, continue to do that. Nourish your body with whole foods, drink water. That's one of the biggest things. Hydrate. And that's, again, not only when we are women that are pregnant and we are nurturing a fetus, like, we want to put whatever the best within our own bodies, because it's an environment that is growing something. Same type of thing. Not only nurture your body, but nurture your environment. If you are one that is setting up a podcast, set it up. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't have the space to do that. All it takes is a microphone and a table. So get a space that you can do that. Spirits, I'm an artist myself, and so I remember I wanted my own studio, and I actually inherited this table from my grandma, and this was a table that I sat in my living room, and it was behind the big man chair, and that's where I would do my art. I did that for months and months. And then there was an opportunity where we were able to get a room built into our house. And now I have a whole studio. So it's something that if you build it, it's going to happen. And that's what Spirit's really telling you. Nourish that. And again, advice from Spirit is the Knight of Pentacles. So this is planting seeds. The Knight is one of the slowest moving knights because he's methodical. He is routine. In fact, he's what we like. This is us. We're structured. We really devote the time and energy to make those decisions, and that's what Spirit is really advising during this next week. Put in the energy you need to, devote the time, but don't just sit there. Okay, this night can be very lethargic, sometimes so much to the point where, and especially us as earth signs, we're so grounded. Don't just sit there. Like, use the energy, especially the yin energy, but nourish those seeds. Okay, if they're not in the ground yet, get them in the ground. If they're in the ground and they're starting to sprout, be aware. Okay, really start talking to them. Start telling them how you're excited. Plants always grow so much better when you communicate with them. And that's what Spirit's really saying. Continue to communicate. Continue to let out your dream. And again, through your voice, whether it's, I'm going to talk to Spirit, it might be writing messages, it might be writing in that journal, scripting. Start writing down what it looks like, what you are calling in, what those seeds are doing, so that you have, again, this space of being able to continue to nurture your idea, your beautiful, prosperous beginning that's underneath it all. Ooh, I'm excited for you, Earth. There's a lot going on this next week, and it's going to be a big week. Please like, subscribe, and drop me a comment. Please tell me what's going on in your life. I'd love to know, and I can send out some really good vibes for you. Until we meet again, with love and appreciation, be well. Bye-bye.